It reminds me like when I tried salvia,
Hmm.
which is a very, very strong psychedelic drug that it only lasts for like 30 seconds. But
Okay.
when you're on it, you're like you really this is the only time I've ever felt like you don't know what's happening.
Did you
Scary
do it in
feeling.
a safe environment?
No.
No. Like in a club space or something?
No, I was in a park. I mean, I guess I did it in a safe environment, yeah. No, you cannot do this shit like in a place with other people. Like, I don't know what we're talking about. But if you search for people, like people doing salvia, it's
It,
insane because you can see it in their eyes. They're lost. They're looking at you and they don't know what's happening. They don't even know who they are. And when you start coming back from it, you little by little, it's like you're being rebirth. It's like
you're coming out of the birth canal.
yeah, because you start remembering who you are little by little. And then you eventually like, oh yeah, I'm trying this. Oh yes, we did this and that's. Oh fuck, now I'm back. Hi guys. Hi guys.
Does it give you like a hangover feeling?
No, it's just very eerie and scary to feel so out of control.
Okay.
So I don't even think there's like a hype for it. They made it illegal in certain states after certain people died from hallucinating too hard. Died because like they went and did something physical, right? Like jumped off something or because there's different levels to it. I think I tried like a very low level, but even then it was quite strong in my views. But yeah, and just like we always say in this podcast, weed and wine. That should be one of the shirts. That should be one of the shirts.
Weed and wine.
The two what?
The dubs.
The
Two
doves.
dubs.
The two doves that we recommend. I mean, we recommend you don't do anything, right? I mean, we recommend you run, drink a lot of water, and drink a lot of protein and eat a lot of protein. That's what we recommend. Now, if you must
You must partake.
if you must partake and dwell in the psychonautics, the endeavors of human experience and dynamics, if you must, to get into that greater state where you can actually, see people's intentions and actually flow with them. I mean, at the end of the day, you can tell me all you want about being good and healthy, but when you got a couple beers on you and you're at the little Getty, that's how we used to call them back in the day, the Gettys, a get together. There's nothing better than that in a nice summer day. A couple brewskis. I won't say brands. Sponsor us. So we don't recommend anything wrong. But if you must, then we don't.
I'm imagine or not imagining. I'm reliving some of our experiences as youngsters, and every time I think about this, there's always, you probably remember this guy just running through your neighborhood completely naked. I don't know if he was doing drugs, but he was definitely drunk.
Yeah, there's many
And
stories you remember. Some that are just incredible, and some that are scary. And I consider us to have been good kids. Kids that didn't really do that wild stuff. But back then there was a level of wildness. I don't know what the wildness is today. What I can tell you is that the produce that's being distributed out there is being poisoned with fentanyl. And I know that we joke around in this podcast, and I know that this topic, some people have laughed at it because they say, "Oh, okay, so now you care about this? Like, what are you, a father? I don't even have kids yet. I will procreate, believe
eventually.
me. I mean, unless my semen is fucked in some way, and I don't know, but I don't think so. I think I come from a line of a breeding family.
Have you ever done the deed of having, some sexual relationships, and you didn't use you didn't use a condom, let's say it like that,
Right?
and you're like, oh fuck, I finished where I
Right.
shouldn't have,
Uh-huh.
and then that girl was not pregnant. Do you get scared? Are you like, damn, my shit is not strong enough? Am I
No.
unfertile?
I mean, I probably did that very little times. Maybe I can count them with my hands because that's straight up dumb.
Okay.
But no, if anything, I'm happy that it didn't turn out to be anything.
Maybe you have a couple kids somewhere.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
They would have come forth and
Yeah, at this
fuck
stage,
your life.
yeah, they already fucked my life now. Um, but
Oh, Dad, I
no,
want to go live in Spain with you now.
no. But what I'm saying is, weed and wine, and when I say wine, include beer in there. Not to leave it out. Like, but weed and wine is just better for the slogan, for the
We
merch.
could do weed and wine, and then like a B in parentheses,
Bud and beer.
bud and beer.
You see, we just
Damn.
need a marketing chief, and then we can get the merch going. All right, well, let's get to the topics, goddamn, and welcome to the Broski Doodles podcast, the best podcast in all of the land. It's right below Joe Rogan. We're number one in Singapore, Kazakhstan, Yaskimash, Meneme Borat, and in part of the Russian, the cold part, the Siberia.
Okay.
For some reason,
That's
they
right.
listen to us there. I don't understand why, but they like
I
it.
think it's the accent. I think the
The
accent has
accent.
it.
People say that Venezuelan Latino that lived in Miami for a bit, accent is very similar in a way to the Siberian Russian accent. It's very similar. It has a little bit of this. But why is it Arabic now? I don't know. It shifts. No, but please, like, support the things. I'm not gonna say all the things. If you hit the little bell so that you can be, that's dumb. I think everybody knows how YouTube works. Don't you feel like a little patronized when the YouTubers are like, "Hey guys, and hit the subscribe button so that it will alert you when new videos come." Yeah, I get it, bro. I get it. Like,
I mean, maybe that's why some podcasts are on top. Maybe we should remind people like
fuck,
to subscribe.
You think?
Maybe we can leave that for a little bit, but I think soon enough we're gonna have to start
Really?
asking people to.
I eliminated that completely just because I felt like it was just like being needy, like being
Or-
thirsty. Like, you know what it is. If you like the thing, please support us. I do like the reviews on the Spotify and the iTunes because that does help us move the audio files in a better logarithmic rhythm, which is good. We don't want to depend only on the YouTubers.
I've known people that listens to us on the audio files.
Okay.
On the
you see, you
Spotify.
sounded like a Russian. I know people that listens. I know people that listens to us in the audio files. We downloaded from torrent.
Or we can ask the producer to put like a little, the little, the one that moves, the little, follow and the little.
Okay. All right. So we'll do a little experiment for this episode. We'll put in the little imagery that says subscribe here, hit the bells.
Just hit the bell.
Leave the
And then
comments. Do a
instead of-
dance.
instead of us telling people, we just point at wherever that person's the producer's gonna put it.
All right, we'll try. We'll get the guy. I mean, we're paying him in euros, and here in Spain, the salaries are low. So there is a limit to what this guy can do, and he's also has a lower than average IQ.
Okay,
But that does work out in our favor to pay him less because he's not good.
I don't want to. I don't want to put so much pressure on him. I'm just giving ideas.
Baseball, America's pastime. I understand yesterday you went to a game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did.
I have my own thoughts on recent things that I've seen on baseball. We're not going to talk about Japanese, Yohei Otani. Yohei, that's how they call him in Latino. Shohei. But when he goes to Dominican Republic, he's Yohei.
Yo, hey.
Oye, Yohei. Tigre. So, no, but baseball, right? America's pastime. It is one of my favorite sports. I don't like sports that much these days. It is one of the things that I haven't really come to as an older gentleman or getting older gentleman. But baseball is one that has all this passion and like all this lore behind it. But I wanted to ask you a bit of what was your experience yesterday. I understand you had a little brewskis because you do have a little bit of what they call a hangover.
A little bit.
Is it a hangover or a hungover?
I think hungover is a past tense.
Okay, so I was hungover. By the way, for people that don't know, the term comes from back in the day when the 1900s started, and people were really drunk but were poor, and they didn't have like enough money to pay for a room. They could pay very little to go into like this room that had a bunch of ropes hanging, and you would like literally, like your body
Hang
will
over.
lay on the rope. I don't know how you didn't die this way, but there's pictures of it, of people literally hanging like in the ropes, and that's how they slept.
Can we ask the producer to put a picture?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for this episode, the producer, we're going to get him to do all these things. Put the fucking picture of a hungover person. But anyways, I wanted your experience because one thing that I love about baseball, one thing I love about baseball, like a Cuban dad, that's like, one thing, let me tell you something, is that baseball is a casual sport. And you can love it and you can like really be into the deep parts of it, but you can also be a casual fan. It's a more family oriented place, and the stadiums are usually big, filled with different activities. You can get some liquor, you can get some food, you can speak to the people there and have some fun, but still look at the game. You have little activities, little songs, little games that are going around. And in a way, European might think of that as like, yo, that's whack. Like sports are sports, is warrior against warrior. We don't need all this fussy shit around it. But when you're in America, America likes entertainment. And I think baseball is perfect at bringing a very complex sport and mixing it with an ambiance of party, of happiness and love. So what I'm saying is, MLB, if you want to sponsor the podcast, we're a call away. We will defend Shohei. And we will vouch for his favor. All right, so tell me, how was
he is a very beautiful person.
We always said it. One of the best one of the best Japanese.
Let's start by ticket prices. So I bought a $8 ticket. We sat in the bleachers. So I went with my friend who's also a baseball fanatic. And he's actually from San Francisco, so he's very loyal, if you want to say it that way.
Yeah, that's how it is.
But can you be loyal to a baseball team?
Yeah, you must. If you are a real G.
So in that sense, I'm more loyal to my soccer team than my baseball team.
Right, but I mean, you can have loyalty in each of the sports.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, I like how he thinks about it, because when we lived in Miami, our team was shit.
Miami Marlins?
The Miami Marlins.
The original Florida Marlins, OG, back in the day, 2003 championship. What's up? What's up? That's what's up. Venezuelans in the team. That's what's up. Miguel Cabrera in the bitch. That's what's up.
They used to suck a lot. So a lot of people wouldn't go
They're
to
sucking
the stadium.
now.
They suck every year except 97 and 2003. Anyways, so he's very like rooted into the team. He really loves the team. He's been going to the ballpark since he was a youngster. So going with him was kind of a cool experience. But this time around, we went for cheap tickets. We bought two $8 tickets through a third party ticket seller. So it's like a resale,
like an app.
Yeah, but now that I'm looking at this, where we sat, it's usually $15-16.
So did you guys get a bargain because you bought it very close to the time, or?
No, I think it's just people trying to resell it and then resell it for cheap. So it was. I mean, I wasn't gonna be mad. It was
okay. And was it packed like the stadium, or was it you could see still?
No, it was packed. I want to say maybe 65% packed.
And this is for the San Francisco Giants?
Yeah.
Okay.
By far,
and this stadium, this is not like the Oakland's, old Athletics, no?
No, this stadium is beautiful. The stadium it sits in the bay, so wherever you are sitting, you can still see the water, the sunset, a lot of boats, and it's a beautiful park. You definitely someday have to come here and check it out. And there's a lot to do that you don't have to like sit down and watch the whole game. There's more to it, like you were saying before. There's more to it that, it gives you a different experience. So you can go buy overpriced beers. So that's where they make up for it. Cheap tickets, but then.
All right, give us a little rundown on the pricing on the on the drinks, on the food.
40, like $37 for 2 beers.
What the fuck?
Dude, it was so expensive.
Oh my God, bro. What is this?
That's so what most people do now is just
they take cocaine.
What a lot of people do is go to the bars around the stadium. They get, like a shot, a couple beers, and that ends up being cheaper than buying a couple beers at the stadium.
So it was like $18 for a beer,
Yeah, basically.
like a
Plus,
huge beer.
a little smaller than a 40, but bigger than a regular, 12.
I mean, I guess. I mean, that's San Francisco. That is the most expensive
No,
place in
but
America, no?
right, but most stadiums,
Are that expensive?
even in Miami, it's like $14. I mean, still expensive
No,
for
I mean inflation. I mean, yeah, the U.S. is a place for the rich, and that's why it's good. It keeps the other things away. Although
it
not so
keeps the
great at it.
rich richer and poor poorer.
Yeah, that's how you want it.
And I'm in the poor section.
Yeah, we need to jump. Here in Spain, it's a little more. We're all communists, socialists. We're good. Everybody gonna get paid the same, and we will eat jamón serrano,
Which is very good.
which is not bad.
So,
And you will
how,
bow to the king. God damn it!
how many beers did we buy? Four, maybe?
Each.
Yeah.
I mean,
Each.
but once you're in there, I guess like fuck it, whatever.
I mean, whatever you're saving on the ticket price, you're
Yeah.
spending it on beers and
Yeah,
food.
and the experience. I mean, you're also paying for the experience of being there, which is probably like amazing. The sound, the people, the fun, the. I always feel like when you're in a baseball stadium, everything looks like HD. It's
Yeah.
I love the music, and I don't see this. I mean, I haven't really gone to many football games. I think I went to a basketball game once. I think there is some music to it, but baseball by far, I think. I mean, again, I could be wrong. I think it's one of the most like party scenes as when it comes to sports. Like as soon as you get an out. In those little seconds between that and the next batter, you got a little
It's like
thing
a-
going, like dun, dun,
it's
dun,
like a
dun, 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 dun.
7 second. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like okay, like the cam that goes around, and I mean they do that in basketball too. That is true, but baseball has a lot of stoppage, has a lot of little
Right.
pockets of, and because the game is so long, you kind of have to do it right because otherwise, like the diehards are gonna watch the game. But I mean, we've talked about this in the past when it comes to like the new rulings to make the games more enjoyable, more user friendly. The diehards, the purists don't like that, and that's understandable. But at the end of the day, even if you're a purist, you get benefits from having a lot more casuals watch your game. Just like with skateboarding. Skateboarding is now in the Olympics. I think this is gonna be the first year in
I think
Paris.
it's the second year.
Second year?
Yeah, they had it in Tokyo.
Okay. But it's very new. And at the beginning, some skaters, like the diehards, are like, this is like an art form. Like, this is not for the Olympics. But now they've all come around and are like, no, fuck it. Like, we need anything that makes this shit more mainstream because that sells more boards, that brings more money into that business, into that sector. And that allows your brands to grow. Like, you don't want this shit to be underground. You want it to be commercial and you want it to be mainstream.
Maybe they're selling out. You remember how like rock bands used to be selling out because
Yeah.
they're playing on MTV? Well,
I mean, I still have like a view of that, and there's certain boundaries in my life that I would say I wouldn't cross because I won't sell out type shit. But I think a lot of that facade has been dropped, and I don't know if it has to do with the world just going into crisis mode where it's like, hey, bro, we all gotta survive. This isn't selling out. Like me, I don't know, selling this song so they could be played in a Netflix series. That's not selling out. Selling out is really not continuing to do the shit you like to do because you're being influenced by something else, and that's different. But yeah, I mean, in the past, a lot of movements wanted to stay sort of underground because that gave it some sort of thing. But eventually, I believe you can have that world be bigger, and at the same time, still keep the underground community within it. And that's fine. I think that helps everybody. Like if I put it in the gaming world, I play games where I'm a casual, and if there wasn't as many casuals playing it, the pros wouldn't really have a scene to play. So even the pros that mostly Koreans play these games really hard, you still want the crowds to enjoy it and the casuals because that brings people into the sport. Anyways, okay, so what activities did you do here and what did you eat?
Activities other than like walking around the ballpark and like sitting down to watch the game and talk. Uh, we didn't do much,
And
but
then
there's
mhm.
there's a lot to do. Like you can like play simulated baseball, like batting like a bat. There's like a batting cage in there. Um, I think the good thing about this stadium is just where it's situated and how amazing it looks. That anywhere you are, you can still enjoy the game, see the people around you. Like there's a lot of cheering. There's a lot now they're allowing like drums and I don't know, trumpets and shit like that. I didn't see any of this game, but they're allowing it, baseball ballparks, and that's kind of cool. What did we eat? I brought some pistachios from home, so I
like
didn't have to.
like hidden.
Well, so that's one of the things I wanted to say. Now you can bring like a bag with food,
You
so you don't have
can?
to. You can, so you don't have to buy over
That's very
expensive.
European.
Yeah, I remember when I went to a soccer game over there, people were eating their
I mean,
little
I would
bocatas at the
if
game.
it's allowed, I would have like taken a nice little sandwich. I bet
So,
like maybe drinks you cannot take in.
so I thought drinks weren't allowed, and I brought my little water bottle full of water, of course. And once we were there, they didn't even check. They're like, "Oh, it's a water bottle.
So that
Cool."
could have been filled with
That could
Venezuelan
have been
rum.
filled. Yep, that's what I told my friend. I'm like, "Well, next game we're just gonna fill it up with some whiskey and fuck everybody,
Okay.
everyone else."
And then you get the expensive Coca-Cola
Right,
and then
and
you
then just
mix
mix
it
it.
and then you walk around just saying, Giants, motherfucker, it was good. All right, all right. I love it. I love it. You know, it's I think they're taking a little bit from the Japanese scene. I've been following a lot this baseball guy that does YouTube, Trevor Bauer. He's actually now I think he's playing for a little while for the Diablos of like Monterrey in Mexico.
Mexico,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
So you got me into it. I've been watching a lot of his videos too.
okay, so Trevor Bauer, bigs up
I
to
know,
him. He
I know
seems
who
like a
he
cool
is.
guy.
He seems like a very good guy. Um, he's a former Cy Young winner, so he used to be a very good pitcher in MLB, and then he got into some stuff
Yeah, I mean
with women.
we've talked about it, but that's whatever. That's we've talked about this
Anyways,
in any other episodes. But yeah, he's now trying to get into a team right in the U.S. So I've been following him, and in the Japanese when he played in Japan, a few years back, he would say and he would show you also the party that is lived and the celebration that is lived within the fans in baseball in Japan is crazy. They have like a whole part of like the cheerleaders where they have the drums and all these things, and all the players get cheered even if they lose, and once the game ends they still cheer for like 30 minutes more and they stay, and it's a party. And then I also started seeing something else, which I think I sent you a link for it, which is called, it's a team, baseball team, that's called the Savannah Bananas. And I don't know what type of league this is. I don't know if it's like a secondary league or if it's part of the, double A, triple A, the inferior leagues on MLB. I don't know how sanctioned they are because of the nature of how they do things, but it's literally like if baseball was already, like I said, family friendly, fun, casual, they not take it up to the next level. And like the guys, I'll put a picture here. I'll tell the producer. The players are dressed in a certain way. They have certain things that they do in the game. Some of the rules are bent in a way so that fun things could happen. Like the center field comes and jump, and he's the one that pitches. They have like sleeveless shirts, and and they're all like these hot blonde guys just playing baseball, and it's a fun thing. It's a bunch of mascots. The other team is called like the party goers. Anyways, what do you think now that you went yesterday to the game, right? Like the real stuff, like MLB sanction. What do you do? What do you do?
the Savannah Bananas. So I have heard of them before because on ESPN they had a like a series documenting how they do the tryouts, how they implemented all of these new rules for their games, which I looked it up again, and most of them kind of make sense and they seem kind of fun. Um, there's no bunting, for example, which in Major League Baseball it's like necessary for the strategy, and then in here it kind of makes the game slower, so they took it out. Uh, One of the ones that I like the most is foul balls that are caught by fans that are outs. So if you're in the game, you're part of the game.
That one I didn't know about. That one's perfect.
Yeah, it seems like a very fun. It makes you engage more into the game.
You know what would be cool? I don't know if this is a rule. A home run that's caught by a fan, out.
Out. It could be a good one.
I'll send an email.
One. Please do. I mean, yeah, compared to yesterday when I went to the game, this one was I wasn't as engaged. So I was drinking, we were talking, and the game was going in the back, right? So everybody started cheering. We looked over, oh, there's a hit, and then you clap or whatever, and you keep drinking, talking. I feel like with this one, it makes you be part of the nightly routine or the nightly games, and the kids, you know, they can also have fun, and there's a reason to bring a glove to the ballpark.
Right.
Yesterday, I was at the game, and there's like a bunch of like 30-year-olds with a glove, which is kind of weird in a sense, but you know, to each their own.
Right, because I mean, Chef Maurice is referring to, like, you know, you would take up a glove because in the hope that you would catch a home run. But why, you sort of hating on it if you're a little older? You're like, what's
I
wrong
am
with you?
hating on it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you have hands. You're 30. You can catch a,
Oh,
a,
okay.
a
You
fly
say
ball.
more. Okay, okay. Not that. Oh, you have a glove. You're trying to catch a home run. Are you stupid? No, you can still want to catch that
No.
home run, but you get that shit with your hands.
Do it with your bare hands.
Okay,
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that shit.
like an American alpha male. I get
Right.
you. Okay, I got you. I got you.
By the way, did you see the catch from the Savannah Bananas? I think it was yesterday or the day before, or a couple nights ago. The guy caught the fly ball as he was doing a somersault flip.
Is that the flip, like a backwards flip, and
Like
then he backflip over the wall?
No, he just backflipped
Oh,
in the
okay, okay.
grass, and as he was
Yeah,
grounding
yeah.
the
He's done.
barehanded.
I've seen a few of those. They got a whole
Okay.
few. They do like a backflip and catch the fly. It's crazy because they're, I guess, aerobics guys. You know, aerobatics, acrobats, Cirque du Soleil, motherfuckers.
But most of these guys are real baseball players, the ones
Okay.
who play at Banana.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I think you kind of need good players already that are almost pro or like semi-pro, and then you get them to do these fun things. Now, this is the way I look at it. I want both things, right? I want to be able to go to the Savannah Bananas, and usually they're in smaller stadiums, so you're actually even closer to the action. I've seen stadiums where there's actually like table sections where you can have a table for your family. It's a fucking party, bro. I mean, I want to go to the Savannah Bananas games. And I don't know where they're played. I would guess in Savannah and around the area. Savannah, is that like North Carolina or South Carolina?
I think it's Georgia.
Or Georgia. Okay, Savannah,
It's like
Georgia.
right,
That's true.
right there in on top of Jacksonville. I think that's where Savannah is.
Okay, so the Savannah Bananas is. I'm interested into seeing like what kind of league they play, who other teams are there. It almost looks like when I used to play, I don't know, backyard baseball, and the teams will be like this, like the Savannah Bananas, the party goers, the noodles, you know, the broski doodles boodles, you know, shit like that. Like, so I want both. I want the Savannah Bananas where they go crazy, and the guys like, you know, have to do shots, maybe not because of the children. I don't know what the thing is. Roger Clemens was pitching for them the other day.
Yeah.
But then I also want the elite, because yesterday you went to see the Giants in one of the best stadiums in the richest city in fucking US, the elite. And you also want to see that eliteness, right? The best players,
Right.
Zero errors. The uniforms are impeccable. The lines in the fields are amazing. The size of it, you know, all that is also cool. So I want both things. I want the local thing with the Savannas and the little crazy wacky doodles, and I also want the real shit MLB. Pam pam, this is for real skis. big leagues stuff. So baseball, do you consider it to be the best
Yeah.
pastime sport? Not sport,
Oof.
because they say
I f-
it's America's pastime. It doesn't say it's America's favorite sport. I think that there's a connection you can have to a
it's just
sport,
pastime, right?
and like I would assume you with Spanish football, soccer, you might have like more passion. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's your favorite sport, but I think that baseball is the best one to have fun with. To have fun, to have a little.
Interesting.
You can go with your family and everybody's
Well,
having a good time.
the thing about baseball is that we grew up with it, right? You and I grew up going to the stadium with my dad in Venezuela. So, uh, and that environment has never been replicated in any stadium that I've been. Like the environment that I felt at those games over there, when they had like the little samba um, group playing every game, or throwing beers and yelling at players.
All right,
I
but
think the
describe a little
environment that
because here Chef Maurice is talking about the baseball environment in the Venezuelan Baseball League, which is comparable to the league in Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. Very Caribbean base. It's not as family friendly, although it still is, but it's a lot wilder. I mean, it's also
yeah.
fun, but I mean, yeah, it's different than the American experience. So I think
It's
you're shifting.
also
You're shifting into some nostalgic shit that's different. But I mean, it's accepted. I
yeah.
mean, we accept it and it's valid, and we're with you.
Well, as you said before, going to an MLB game is seeing the best of the best, right? I think there's nothing in sports harder than hitting a baseball. So just making contact with it, and it seems like a very big thing. And these guys are the best at it. Shohei, Mike Trout, all these amazing players. So I don't know. I like the MLB. I like the the cleanliness, the perfectness of it, in the sense of like the best players, they're doing their best. But stuff like the Savannah Bananas is pretty cool, pretty
No, I mean,
awesome.
and when we look at like we talked about this, like the World Series. Now you get to see the players with different rules. They can wear jewelry. They're more intertwined with their home country. So there's a different feeling to that. And when you talk about like the local leagues in Venezuela or Puerto Rico or Mexico, you got elite players because you have people from MLB going there to play in the offseason, but they're playing in a system that's not as elite in the other realm. So you can see the camera that films the games is a little more grainier. You can see the stadiums are a little bit, just more humble. And this is not a bad thing. You also enjoy that feeling of having a more Latin American like flow to it, but still seeing elite players. And in Venezuela, we had the pleasure and the privilege of seeing like amazing players playing the Venezuelan leagues, but you get the atmosphere of Venezuelan party. Which, like you said, you got people with the samba, like you're in the fucking favelas of Rio de Janeiro.
But
Yeah,
that's also some of the stuff that the Bananas are doing, right? They're
yeah.
playing music. It's loud. It's fun. I think they're making it more child friendly. Let's call it that, because I see a lot of the videos from them, and there's a lot of kids that go to the ballpark. Now, last night I didn't see that many kids, and the game was somewhat early. It was at 6:30. So it ended at what,
Yeah,
nine
it's
thirty,
a lot more family friendly. That is true.
right? But in the MLB, I think I don't know. It's a hit and miss, depending on where you go. Because I've been to stadiums in the MLB that are a lot of kids, or
Yeah.
And I think if you want to
Well, I
grow
mean,
the
think about it. In
sport,
San Francisco, they're not procreating as much
or maybe they are.
because
Oh, because of
of.
the guys. Yeah, yeah, I got you.
I mean, you have to say it's like so strong there. I mean like when I said it, it was
Because of the
fine. I was just like
gays.
having a revelation, and then you just like had to say very like, oh, because of the gas.
Because of the gays.
Yes, Kamesh, me bara.
Ah, shit. But then you want to go see a $1 billion product in Shohei Ohtani,
Yeah.
who's
No, no,
fucking
I want to have it all,
all. Yeah.
and I
Maybe
love it. I love it.
maybe we can see if MLB wants to adapt some of these rules. I think if they adapt any of these rules, the purists are gonna fucking
Well,
go
think about
nuts.
it, like what the Savannahs and Bananas are doing right now. Think about it. I think I'm going a little local, but you know how there's this very big YouTuber, influential guy in Spain, Ibai,
Hmm.
right? And he's very famous, like biggest streamer, whatever, here in Spain. He created a league. I think it's like a 7v7 league in or like, yeah, I think 7v7 in a closed stadium, so it's indoor, but it's still grass, synthetic grass. Kind of like what I would play with my friends here when we go play. And then you get people like that are retired or gamers or streamers, and like people are interested in seeing them play just because they people that are known. You know, it's sort of like the celebrity boxing, but put
Right,
in
right.
football. So imagine the Savannah Bananas movement that's going on continues to grow, and it makes it so that people create teams. And you would think, okay, but why would I do this? This is not gonna make money. This is not the elite of the elite. But the thing is, what brings people to watch the Savannah Bananas is not that they're the elite of the elite. You got the MLB for that. It's because this is a fun party, but we still got a game of high quality where we're not just gonna watch, your uncle fucking Rico play ball in Sundays while he does crack cocaine, in between innings, which happens, and it's actually
Yeah.
a problem in South Florida. So,
Well,
do you think
the
that could be a
banana.
movement? I mean, we could have maybe the Broski Doodles team at one point, breaking it
Hey,
down.
I'm down for that. I
You're
don't
like
know. I don't know what we can
your
name them.
your first base.
Oh, if I play, that would be amazing. Well, one of the rules in Evai's soccer league is that the owners of the team have some sort of participation on it. So they draw cards, and then they're like, "Oh, the owner has to do a penalty kick."
Right. They
So
add these extra rules to make it more fun, more dynamic. It's kind of like Mario Strikers. Like you play soccer or football or baseball, whatever, but with these extra rules that make it more fun. And I understand that the purists, oh no, but that's not baseball. That's not, no, but it's fine. We can have the real shit and then this
right.
fun thing that's next to it. That's
What,
it.
what's the name of the league is the Kings League, right?
The
The
the one for
Evai's.
the Spanish league, yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can do our own Kings League, but baseball wise,
Okay.
and then add all these little rules, and then invite the
Yeah.
Savannah
We can do
Bananas.
it with softball.
Right. Okay.
I understand softball is better because the ball is slower for when
Right.
you're a little
Right.
older. I mean,
For
we're
when you start hitting our age,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you're never pro, you never went pro.
yeah.
You have to go softball.
If you're at the point where you might need to get a prostate check,
That's where you go softball.
this is softball league. This is your Sunday league, always with you.
I retired from playing any sports. I had bad injuries, and I had to.
But
I had to
when,
retire.
like very young?
Yeah. I mean, maybe 10, 12 years ago, I used to play in a little baseball team every Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
So we would go, and then I started getting injuries, and I'm like, no, I'm too old for this shit. And
What
I was
type
like
of
20.
injuries? Like, what was the last one you got?
Ankle,
Twisted ankle, right?
like a twisted ankle, and I had a bunch of
Did you
those.
break it or?
No breakage, but it's discomfort, and then I had to miss work, and so I'm like, you know what, this is not gonna get me
You know what's
anywhere.
crazy? This happened to me also recently, where like I would play football here once a week, with the boys, 7-7, and synthetic grass for an hour. After it, we would have a beer and stuff, and that was fun. I mean, I would just go for the beer, and I used to. I mean, I wasn't that bad, but because I was so out of condition, I was, and I still am. Once you're so out of condition, even if you have some good skills, it's hard to fucking do the things right. So I didn't really do that well, but it was fun to go.
Right.
And
I Go ahead. Go ahead.
no,
Finish.
and I would get tired and shit. But I was lucky; I never got really injured, right? And then I stopped playing for a while, and then I started, on this whole like trying to be better, healthier. And now, for some reason, I kind of like think about it, and I'm like, fuck, playing football. is one of the things that could get you injured the most. And then now I start thinking like a fucking old man, where I'm like, fuck, if I fuck up my knee, like I haven't had any major injuries in my life, knock knock, and I'm already thinking like, fuck, maybe I shouldn't play football for now. And it's an old thing, you know, it's an old guy thing. Now, this doesn't mean I won't play football ever again. I just need to be fit again enough so that I know I won't get injured, because one bad injury and then you're homeless.
You're done. You're done. I was playing with my 1-year-old soccer not long ago, and I fucked up my ankle. So that's when I'm like, all right, take it slow. Stop doing this shit. You're 35 now. So it sucks because at least I grew up being super fanatic of every sport and I wanted to play them all. And now you're at an age where you're like, fuck, I can't move
Do
the
you
same.
think
I
like,
can't.
because one thing that we could do, right, is we could go to a park and play catch. We don't even have to run. Do you think if we play catch, we will be scared of catching the ball?
Not catching the ball, but throwing the ball. The other day, I threw a baseball, and I thought my
And I
arm was
dislocated
just,
the arm. Oh my god, bro!
I said I'll never throw a baseball again
Man,
because it hurt like a bitch.
we're on a heavy decline, eh? You know what's
Dude,
crazy? Right
sucks.
now, I consider myself to be following the regime, staying healthy, doing things right. And you know what's my daily workout that I do an hour of? And that's like when I do it, I'm like, okay, you did the thing you needed to do today. I go walking for an hour. That's my dude. And I feel proud when I'm back.
Yeah, yeah.
Like and I realized it the other day while I was walking. Like I'm like, oh shit! Like when I was a kid, I was like, and I saw that sir that's just walking, and I'm like, damn, that guy got to the point where walking is his exercise. That's his exercise. Like the shit that you do to just get around.
Yeah.
This guy has an hour plan a day where he walks, and he does that so that he can stay alive long enough to see his kid reach high school. That's where the fuck I'm at, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
For a while, it was
Oh,
like,
man.
okay, I have to go out, jog 45 minutes. No, I'm walking now. So that's...
Do you walk in circles or do you walk distance?
in my head, thinking about my fucking life. In my room, I'm like, what the fuck? No, I go to a park. And I already have like
Okay.
a little route where I do 2 laps around the park, and that's 5 kilometers.
Okay.
And I do that like 55 minutes. And bro, it has hills up and down. I feel really good. I say hi to the other old guys that are walking, you know. It's
Are
nice.
you wearing your New Balance?
I wear my New Balance because they're
All
great.
right.
They're great for the articulations. And soon I'm gonna buy one of those knee braces that you can put. No, it's downhill hard. But you know what? I'm gonna do my best. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'm having chamomile tea at night, and I'm drinking a lot less now. So
Okay. Well, it sounds like we're all heading that way.
yeah.
I do the walking. I do the same hour walking as you do, but I just do it with a baby.
you do because you take
Yeah.
them out.
So every day we try to. I'm not working, so
Right.
every day we try to go out and go to the park or go to the beach. So we try to do it walking. So we get in that exercise, and maybe I don't feel it like you do in the sense of you're exercising. I'm just walking with the kid to a certain place. But at the end of the day, it might be the same amount of steps or the same amount of distance or time. So we're basically doing the same exercise regime. I just do it with a baby.
I mean, I bet when
and-
you get home, you're mad tired.
Yeah,
Are you?
because I'm starting to get in the baby schedule. So by when we lay him to bed at 7 or 8, I'm already dead. I'm like,
Right.
fuck, I gotta go to
But the
sleep.
thing is, like, bro, it's not like no. This is the good thing about getting older is that even basic errands, like you're doing your workout right there. You know what I mean? Like the other day, I put on my watch, right? That like I have all these Casio watches that I love, and I switch them every day. But then there's one that my dad gave me, which is a Samsung watch, and it counts the steps and the routes and the whole thing, right? So I put that one on when I go walking, and I put the little program walking because that's what I do, right? Like a fucking idiot, I just do the walking. I just get me the old people shit right here, the walking. And bro, we just went to the mall, and I was like, let's just walk to the mall. Like we have a close one by. We walked to the mall. We at the end of the day, I almost walked the same as I would have walked with my normal workout. So, and you think to yourself, damn, that's bad and good. Okay, it's good because that means even doing an errand, I go and do it walking, and that's a workout, and that's good for my health. The bad thing is, I got to the point in my life where doing an errand in the mall is my workout. Like I should be doing more intense workouts. I should be fucking, I don't know, 1 hour of weightlifting and then 1 hour of running in the fucking hills nonstop. But no, I'm doing the walking. But with that, I do want to say that get inspired. Even doing that is reducing your comorbidity and your chances of dying by a lot. So, anyways, you had a thought that you were gonna say right now.
No, no, I was just gonna say that I hate people that tell you like, "Oh, you're gonna go to the supermarket, just go by walking." It's like, no, bitch, I don't want to do that shit. I walk when I want to, but if I have to go to the supermarket, unless I want to walk to the supermarket, it makes you feel bad.
I mean,
Those kind of comments.
here in Spain, though, is in the U.S. it is stupid because the U.S. is designed to drive. But here in Spain, you can actually do your things walking. I mean, I don't have a vehicle, so I have to walk. And bro, like I'm telling you, like going to the supermarket, I bring a cart and then I bring it back from the supermarket filled with shit. I'm doing like a heavy workout. Like I don't know how the fuck I don't have like my abs and shit.
But now that's where the purist of exercising would be like, oh, but you weren't using shorts or your joggers or whatever the fuck you have to wear to do exercise, you know? So are they counted it? Are they counting this as exercise? I am. In my book, it's an exercise. I went to a fucking supermarket with my little cart and brought back the groceries. That's a fucking exercise.
Well, right now, I mean, this is more personal stuff inside baseball, but now that we're talking about it, I do this not to even think I'm bragging. I'm doing this to try to tell the people that even if you feel yourself that you're a useless piece of shit, you can do little things to improve. What I'm doing now is I make a list every night of what I should be doing the next day. So, okay, 1 hour of walking, right? Like I said, I don't want to go into it anymore. That's what I do.
Do you do it every day or?
Every day I try to do it. 1 day of walking, 1 hour of walking, 1 hour of reading, right? I've never read in my life much. Now I'm starting to read. So 1 hour of reading. I'm on my fourth book. 2 months, 3 months I started reading. So
damn.
Now I'm reading faster. 1 hour of reading. Okay, boom. I have brushing my teeth. Brushing my
teeth. Second grade.
I put brushing my teeth at night and using the little irrigator that the dentist told me I need to use every night. That's super annoying to use. Okay, that. Eat well, which that one sometimes I don't do. And then like some other shit that I need to do on the day. Call to do this appointment. Like I put all these little things. And then what happens is the next day, even if I do half of those things and I mark them, it makes me feel good. Like, oh shit. And I almost feel like I have this little goal of 6, 7 things to do in the day and I only do 3. Well, think about it this way. You weren't going to do shit that day. And now you did 3 things. If you do 3 things every day, and that's if you're like if you don't improve on it, which you will by nature. Like at the beginning, I did 3, then 4. Now I'm doing 5. Today, for example, like one of the things I have in my thing is record podcasts today, and I'm gonna scratch that. And today I'm gonna have everything done that I put in that list. So that's a perfect day. And these could be things that are simple. Like you don't have to put like, oh, I'm gonna fucking work. No, like I did it like an idiot-proof way. Like put shit that's simple that you don't do that you should do.
I think what you're doing is like creating short-term goals for yourself.
Exactly.
Because that makes you, everything that you were saying, I was thinking, it makes you one, proactive. It makes you active and you're doing a bunch of things. But in your at the end of the day, you're going to be feeling better with yourself. So you're going to be feeling happier with yourself and with your partner, and you're doing everything you need to do to get your life straight in a way. Um, and little things like recording it or writing it down helps even more because, we're at an age where we forget stuff. Plus, we have done stuff that make us forget stuff.
I mean that part also, but this is more to the thing of like if you don't. I know it sounds cliche as fuck. It's like guys, write it down so you know. But all I'm saying is like what you need to do the next day, and we all know this is the thing. There's no magic book to tell us what to do. If you need to lose weight, we already know what we need to do. You just walk an hour a day and eat the things you need to do, you need to eat. You know what the fuck they are, bro. Okay, mostly protein, some vegetables and fruits. That's like, and some carbohydrates. Rice, potatoes. That's it. I mean, there's no secret. It's just getting in the mindset of doing it. And what I notice is that I have this list, and if that day I don't want to eat well or perfect, I fucked up a little bit. But now that I'm getting more things done on the list each day, I'm pressured to also do the eat well thing. So getting other shit done inspires you to do the other little things that you're not wanting to do. And I think the key to this, and Jordan Peterson had this in his book, 12 Rules, and it's like making goals so easy that you cannot like fail them. Like don't do a hard
Right.
goal. And I know that sounds like counterintuitive, but that's really what works for me. Do 7 or 6 little goals in the day, and then scratch 2, scratch 1, fuck it, and tell me how it goes, and I'll tell you guys how it's going now. So how it goes for me in the future. I'm reading more than I've ever read, and I actually feel like a smart guy. So that's giving me street cred.
We we personally have something similar. We have like a little blackboard in the kitchen,
That's a little
but
racist.
a board that's the color of anyway. And we put stuff there that needs to be done, but we don't put like go to the park because we already do that daily. But we do put a lot of like, all right, we need to do certain chores, we need to do certain errands, we need to buy, like a little to do board.
Like for example, to put you on the spot, I know these are more things you do routinely, and that's still applauded because a lot of it has to do with raising your child, which is an amazing endeavor. But I bet there's things on a personal level that you want to do where you need to do things daily or not do things daily, right? And if you want to lose weight, not eat, for example. But there's certain shit that you already know you have to do, right? But that you've put off and you haven't done. Could you name a few things that you have in mind? Things that you wanted to, like it could be, I wanted to read this book, or it could be, I wanted to, whatever. I wanted to do this course on, Mongolese food. Like, what is something or a few things that you've been wanting to do, but you just put off?
Well, one of them is watch a couple movies. I can't seem to be I can't seem to do that. And definitely get into the habit of reading more. I mean, with raising a kid, it's hard because your time is consumed somewhere else. But the times that are down or where he's sleeping or when he's sleeping for the night, instead of doing some of the stuff that I do, I can get more into reading or watching a series or a movie. But now it's a lot of getting the house clean or in a good state where I feel like the house is clean and it's not like a disaster everywhere. So that's where my energy goes now. So and after that, I just try to spend time with my significant other.
Yeah, I mean, for you, it's. I thought I was gonna have like a perfect answer to help you, but it is hard for you because you're so limited in time. And also,
But I
this
do.
is also to say like to me, I'm like, I think I'm doing so well, and I am. I mean, I'm proud of me, but it's like, yeah, this is all when you're on your own.
Right, right. But most of the books that are here, I haven't read, and I bought them for a purpose. One, because I like books, and two, because I bought them because I wanted to read them, and I haven't gotten the chance to read all of them. I've read most. or some.
Well, to
And
give you
then,
some inspiration on this, and again, this is not to be braggadocious. I'm still in the fucking journey, but I have a thing like that of books as well that I've bought in the last years. I never read any of them, and
mm,
then in the last 2 to 3 months, I've read four of those books, and now I'm reading like a book a week, like thick ones, and anyways, I'll be telling you guys about some of the topics on it because they're very interesting, but. One thing that I realized with reading, especially in a book, and I want people to tell me, like, if you read on the Kindle, what's your experience on it? Because I'm not hating on it. There's a lot of benefits to it. But in my case, I just always had a thing with books to have them physically. And stop recording. You know, there's some of the inside baseball stuff. You guys shouldn't see this. But one thing I noticed is I have a little pencil and a highlighter. And because I'm reading nonfiction, like I'm not reading stories, I'm reading more like people's thoughts on the analysis of why homeless happens or why, how can we extend our life and live longer, why crypto is a scam. Like it's all books mostly having to do with explaining things and people's analysis and investigation on certain topics. So it's not like a story. So I highlight the things that I find important, use my pencil to write thoughts about it. And then the book now it's a bigger thing. It's a thing that I can come back to it. And now I've had a situation where my girlfriend was saying something and I was like, bitch, let me let me tell you, I got the facts. No. I was like, oh shit, that thing that you just said, I actually read something on it that was actually interesting. And then I went into my book and I searched for it and I found the thing that I had highlighted and I showed her. I'm like, oh, that's so interesting. This is very related to what you said. And now, aside from being the cool guy that at parties can bring topics on a book and sound like he's smart and has a big dick, no, I can actually use the books not only for myself but to relate it to things because I've highlighted and I've done a little note, homework on it. So for people that want to get started on reading, I mean, again, anything you want to read, if it's fiction, I guess it works too. But fuck it up, write things on it, highlight it. That's your book. That's for you to keep. And then when you revisit it, you have the things that you found more interesting already highlighted for you. But anyways, I hope people like this episode because it's a pretty long one. But we had a lot of passion today.
but I like how we started with Savannah Bananas and now we're like into deep thought and feelings.
Because people think it's all Perico Room, but it isn't all Perico Room. It's also the reading club.
The reading club, yeah. Oh shit, okay.
Eventually, when the podcast grows, because it's not, we don't just want fame and money. I mean, we want that, right? But what we really want is have the access to so many people that we can touch in a meaningful and metaphorical way. That once we have enough people, then we can do these little things that are a little separate, but part of it, right? Like the Chef Maurice cooking show, which is gonna be different from everything you've seen. Believe me, it's gonna be totally original. And then there's also gonna be the reading club for the people that are like, hey, look, I'm a little dumb, but I want to be less dumb. And that's fine. That's where I'm at right now.
I know we've extended this episode a little bit, but have you ever been at a reading club?
No, I always thought that would be gay, but now I want to create one. So that's where I'm at. I'm walking an hour a day, and I want to open up a reading club. So that's where I'm at.
Do you read in Spanish or English? Or both?
I mean, I have the capabilities of reading in both. No, but most of the books I have, if not all, are in English.
Okay. So you're getting better at your language as well.
Yeah, I'm getting better at English. No, I just, when I just like reading in English more, and a lot of the authors that I want to read are people that wrote in English, and I don't like things that are traduced.
Oh, and you don't like when you find the same book, but it's just translated into Spanish.
No, I wouldn't want to read it. No.
Okay.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I think I have the same. I have the same ability to read in Spanish and in English. I'm actually a good reader in both languages. Although I sound like a fucking immigrant that just arrived, I'm actually good with the English language, like very good, like native people.
I feel the same with cooking books. I don't like I like the cookbooks to be whatever has to be in English, and then whatever has to be in Spanish.
Yeah, of course, original. I do have one book that's in Spanish because it's an author here in Spain that I like. But I just think it has to do with what I'm surrounded by. As I start meeting more authors and thinkers in Spanish that I like, then I'll be buying more things of them. I bought an economy book from a Spanish author that I want to read. So yeah, I don't mind. I mean, any language I read, I'm happy to read something in that language, but it has to be from the original language. Unless I do have a book, for example, that's in English, but originally written in Russian. It has to do with the
that's why the accent.
with the communist regime that happened there with Stalin and Lenin and all that shit. But anyways, it's called the Gulag Archipelago. It's a classic that explains how horrible communism is and how it killed over 100 million Russian people. Anyways, that's for another day. But baseball, America's pastime. Could it become the world's pastime? Could it be worldwide? I'm in Spain here and I want to watch the MLB, but I don't really have access to it. It's not there. So can that be something that makes it so that I can pay, I don't know, $20 a month and I can see MLB, Shohei Ohtani, I can see LA Cruz, he just did a infield home run. I want to get to it, but you guys need to have access to it. Could the Savannah Banana profile and little system they got become even bigger so we get teams that are more fun, and we also have the elite, but then we also get the little fun part where you go and have a little drink and fun with the family. We're having kids now because we're becoming older and we're in a decline biologically. How are you trying to become better? Do you think this writing a list every night and putting the things you're gonna do next day is good? This way you do it like a lazy motherfucker that only puts 6 things, but then you do 3 and then you feel good at night? That's how I'm doing it. It's the only way for me. Now, this advice would be different if I was one of those fuckers online that are like perfect fit and they're like, guys, you need to wake up at 5 in the morning, then you're going to fuck your wife, and you need to have 2 jerk-offs. Well, there's people that can do that. I can't. I have to do it the lazy way. And I'm telling you, this lazy way has gotten me more in the last months than I've ever gotten. So, baby step. If you were born a retard like me, you gotta go baby steps, baby. Okay? Chef Maurice?
I'm proud of you. You've done a good job.
Chef Maurice,
I like it when you text me the night before. You're like, all right, I want to write you down on my to-do list.
Oh, that's so cute. All right, well, that's the Miami Strikers? No, what are they called?
Inter Miami.
Oh, Inter Miami. But they're not like the Strikers or the Boulder.
They play in the same stadium as
Okay.
the Strikers. I don't think they exist anymore. The Strikers?
There was a team called the Miami Strikers.
Yeah. The Fort Lauderdale, I think.
Gay! Chef Maurice, San Francisco, direct connection to Madrid. We're traveling across time. Love you guys. Please rate us on Spotify. Rate us on iTunes. Download on all platforms. We love you. Peace.